Election 2018 looming closer as the stakes rise in New Jersey's 7th Congressional District. Republican incumbent Leonard Lance and Democratic challenger Tom Milewski going head-to-head on the Hamilton stage.
I hate to break the news to you, Congressman, but she's not the President of the United States.
In other words, you will not criticize her as I criticize the President.
The most contested part of the debate came as Lance challenged Milewski on comments about civility made by Hillary Clinton.
I will criticize anybody who does the things that I just mentioned.
Do you criticize her?
For what?
For what she said last week.
What did she say?
She said civility should begin only after the election.
I disagree with that statement.
One of the biggest talking points of the night was health care, a critical matter for the more than 750,000 residents in this battleground district.
More than 60 times over the last 9 years, Congressman Lance has voted to either repeal or gut the protections for pre-existing conditions and other protections.
We have to build on the system we have in this country, not moving to a single-payer system.
Those in attendance looking for a candidate who will fight for New Jerseyans in Washington.
We need somebody who's going to step out and really push back against an executive branch that is wielding power in a way that is divisive and is undermining the health of our democracy.
Both Republicans and Democrats have seen that Congressman Lance has fought for them in Washington no matter their political affiliation, and I think that will also ring true this November.
In a recent poll from Monmouth University, Milewski holds a 6-point lead. However, 12% of district voters remain undecided. And the effort to sway those undecided voters will continue over the next 3 weeks for both Lance and Milewski in what is predicted to be one of the closest races in New Jersey this election cycle. In Rahway, Stephen Milewski, Fios 1 News. More than 200 people were rescued from warehouses on Fairview Avenue Tuesday due to high floodwaters.
It was coming in through the gates, so everything was all flooded, and we had to evacuate as soon as possible.
Officials say that the heavy rainfall started around 2:30 this afternoon, and distress calls started coming in an hour later. Crews were forced to work quickly as the floodwater continued to rise, even using bulldozers to bring people to safety.
Well, the people were getting frustrated. They wanted to get out, so to keep everybody calm, we just got them out as quickly as possible.
And there are some people that want to stay and wait out and let the water recede, but as of right now, we had to use our high water unit that you see passing by here, a couple of boats, and a couple of heavy pieces of equipment to get people out.
Officials say the floodwater rose to nearly 8 feet high, and they believe it stemmed from nearby creeks that connect to the Hackensack River. Nobody was hurt during the rescue operations, but people did have to leave their cars behind.
My car got stuck back there, but I mean, I'm not going to risk it going through there, especially if there's a rescue team. It's so much easier.
Officials say they rescued the last round of people around 6 p.m., but some people are choosing to stay behind.
There are some people in the North Bergen warehouses that want to stay and wait it out, and that's up to them.
Deb. Enterprises owner Eddie Dottino is one of those staying behind just past the flooded area in the North Bergen warehouses. He tells Fios 1 News that he and his employees can't leave until the water recedes enough for them to get their cars out and to close the business gates.
My office has 2.5 feet of water in it, so it's not good.
Now the rain has stopped, but the flood water is still high here on Fairview Avenue. Officials say that with this kind of major flooding, they don't expect the water to recede until tomorrow morning. In Fairview tonight, Stephen Milewski, Fios 1 News.
Douglas Frank DeStefano.
56 people.
John Anthony Perconti, Jr.
Never forgotten.
It means a lot to us today because the memory of those who we lost on September 11th lives on in their brothers and their sisters, in their relatives, in the lives of those people we lost.
The city of Hoboken lost the most people of any New Jersey municipality on that fateful day 17 years ago.
Anne Marie Kramer.
In Pier A Park, a memorial of 56 glass panels were illuminated and engraved with the names of the Hoboken residents who perished.
Places of remembrance and reflection, as we have here in Hoboken, are incredibly important, not just on this sacred day, but on other days that remind us as well.
The message from New Jersey leaders tonight: to cherish the gift of life.
It's a day to remember that life is sacred and our rights as Americans are sacred, that we must honor and take them very seriously and very vigilantly day in and day out.
And to stand united even during the most divisive of times.
Americans who turned to each other instead of turning against each other. That spirit is something that I hope we can recapture and relive, not just in the aftermath of tragedy, but as part of our national fiber.
As you can see across the Hudson River, the tribute in lights shining through the clouds, reminding us of the lives that were lost and the sacrifices that were made on a day that we shall never forget. In Hoboken tonight, Stephen Milewski, Fios 1 News.
I'm doing work in the office and I just heard like a boom. And then all of a sudden the lights went out and I knew something happened.
Several buildings on Cox Street in Roselle lost power Tuesday afternoon after a truck collided with low-hanging power lines. The power went out around 2:30 p.m. and crews were on scene for hours trying to restore power and safely untangle the vehicle.
It always happens on the street. You always lose power for some reason.
Cox Street is home to Inroads to Opportunities, a nonprofit organization that provides various services to more than 300 disabled adults. All of those people were forced to evacuate the buildings into public picnic areas, some even being shuttled away by bus.
Usually we have a paging system, so there's a lot of like running around from one building to another, but we've consolidated everyone, so it seems like it's going fine.
Mental Health Program Director Leticia Esquivel says that while technology is an important component to the programming at their organization, they are finding ways to circumvent the loss of power.
Obviously, we're a computerized age, so, computers like, oh my, it's terrible, but we managed. It's, we just kind of did other things, and there's always paper and pencil, I guess.
But for Assistant Director Harry Jones, the cost of not having power during the day's remaining business hours is substantial.
Deadlines, just billing and things like that. They do tomorrow, but without the electricity, no computers. That's our life here, is computers.
The truck that was tangled in those wires has now been successfully removed, but crews say the wires that are on the ground that you could see behind me are made of copper and fiber and aren't dangerous to anybody walking nearby. As for power in the area, that has been fully restored. In Roselle, Stephen Milewski, Fios 1 News. The Fort Lee Police Department is asking residents tonight to be on the lookout for car theft suspects.
It's pretty surprising. I don't think that it happens often anymore, but I guess it is happening.
The police released a statement on Monday after a slew of car thefts and burglaries in Bergen County and across the state. Nearby Elmwood Park has had 52 cases of break-ins during the last 5 months alone.
That's pretty scary. I wouldn't want people obviously breaking into my car.
The Fort Lee police says that in most cases, cars that were broken into were ones left unlocked. They say the best way to keep your car safe is to lock your doors, remove key fobs, and secure any valuables inside your vehicle. Locals have their own pieces of advice as well.
Make sure you're locking your cars and just keep an eye on it, coming in and out, checking up on it.
If you can, have, indoor parking or covered parking or pay for the parking.
Police say that if you see someone attempting to break into a car, do not confront them, but instead call 911 and stay on the line until the police arrive. In Fort Lee, Stephen Milewski, Fios 1 News.